It's 4 p.m. We're bringing you the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. The headlines at this hour. President Bongbong Marcos has instructed law enforcement to keep a close watch on contractor Sara Diskaya and several others, with their arrests happening soon. This is over the alleged involvement in a 96.5 million peso ghost project in Davao Occidental. The project in Culaman Jose Abad Santos, Davao Occidental, was awarded to the Diskaya's St. Timothy Construction back in January of 2022 and was reported completed on the same year, except upon inspection by the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, or CIDG, in September. It turned out that the construction of the said structure has not even started yet.
I have directed DILG and the PNP to ensure that they know the whereabouts of Diskaya at nung iba pa, para paglabas ng arrest warrant ay maaresto sila kaagad. Ang malversation ay non-bailable. Mabigat ito dahil hindi nila mababayaran ang kanilang paglaya. Pag naisampa na ang mga kasong ito sa korte, ang susunod na hakbang ng judiciary ay ang paglabas ng arrest warrant para sa mga pinangalanang individual.
Right after the president's report to the nation via his vlog, the Office of the Ombudsman announced that it is filing criminal charges against contractor Sara Diskaya and others. These include public works officials in the Davao Occidental region and Maria Roma Angeline Rimando, also from the Diskaya's St. Timothy Construction. They're facing charges of malversation through falsification, as well as violation of Republic Act 3019, or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. The cases will be filed before the Digos Regional Trial Court, and the Ombudsman will ask the tribunal that no bail will be granted the accused. Meantime, Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano said that they're currently evaluating referrals from the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, and this is all in relation to the alleged anomalous infrastructure projects. And these include the ICI's referral to recommend cases against former Senator Bong Revilla and other individuals. Also included is the fact-finding body's, the ICI's recommendation of a case build-up against Senators Cheese Escudero and Mark Villar, as well as former lawmakers Nancy Binay and Grace Poe. Meantime, Clavano said as well that they're still awaiting the Sandigan Bayan's decision on the request to cancel resigned Congressman Jody Co's passport. Co is believed to be hiding in Portugal.
The last that we were updated, the respondent was asked to comment. No? However, given the Supreme Court ruling on fugitives, this may be expedited by the fact that he does not show up in court, or his appearance has not been entered in court.
Here now are the other stories that we're watching on this Friday, December 5th. The Supreme Court has unanimously ordered the return of 60 billion pesos in PhilHealth funds that were previously transferred back to the National Treasury. The High Court also blocked the transfer of the remaining 29.8 billion pesos from the state health insurers' coffers. The court ruled that the government had no legal basis to take the excess funds and deemed the transfer unconstitutional. The 60 billion pesos must be returned to PhilHealth through the 2026 budget. The Anti-Money Laundering Council has obtained a new Court of Appeals freeze order on the assets of a private construction firm, its associated entities, and individuals connected to alleged ghost flood control projects. The order covers 280 bank accounts, 22 insurance policies, 3 securities accounts, and 8 air assets. So to date, a total of 4,679 bank accounts, 283 insurance policies, 255 motor vehicles, 178 real estate properties, 16 e-wallets accounts, and 3 securities accounts have been frozen, all of them with an estimated value of around 13 billion pesos. Undersecretary Jojo Cadiz has resigned from the Department of Justice amid allegations of in his involvement in the flood control anomaly. Palace Press Officer Yusek Claire Castro said the move shows that President Marcos does not tolerate any alleged wrongdoing by allies, even if no official judgment has been made. She added that the public should view the resignation positively as it demonstrates accountability and prevents potential conflicts of interest. And today, December 5th, is the deadline given to a panel of health experts to report on former President Rodrigo Duterte's health condition. Remember, the International Criminal Court's pretrial chamber wanted to find out if the defense panel's argument holds that Duterte is unfit to stand trial for crimes against humanity. The Gong's lawyer, attorney Nicholas Kaufman, has claimed that his 80-year-old client is facing serious cognitive deficiencies. All right, joining me today, we've got Storycon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas.
Good afternoon, Reg.
Good afternoon.
Is Ami here?
So formal. And from the Philippine Star, we've got, of course, Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami.
Hi everyone, happy weekend.
Hi, Ami. Magkakulay pa kayo ni Reg, ha?
Oo nga eh.
I can't see pink ba yan? Pink is the color of the day.
Pink. Oo.
We don't know pala what time the medical evaluation will come out, but the deadline is today for the for experts to assess former President Rodrigo Duterte's physical abilities to stand trial. Cognitive and physical abilities to stand
Marami
trial.
nangyayari today, di ba?
Marami nangyayari. And
Yes, may press con yung presidente na sinasabi niya na
hindi press con, nag-ano lang siya, nag-vlog.
Walang press.
Salita lang.
Press. Oo.
At basically, ang sinasabi niya ay huhulihin na without bail ang mga diskaya. Nabanggitin niya ni
Before
Vince
Christmas.
Tison last week.
Mm.
At nagsalita rin si Ombudsman Remulla
Oo nga.
asking the Senate na huwag payagang lumabas ng bansa si Jingo Estrada. And also with the immigration officials na yung mga iniimbestigahan huwag palabasin. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Paano kailangan may kaso eh? Di ba? Para magkaroon ng whole departure order.
They're gonna run into legal issues there, no? Parang medyo
Yes.
unconstitutional yon.
Hindi pwedeng sabihin lang na huwag palabasin. Dapat may kaso.
Dapat may kaso, kaya nga hindi maka-HDO, hold departure order, because wala pang kaso, right? But I guess...
Pero may
ahead,
isa pang interesting sinabi si Boying Remulla ha. Baka daw mag-wind up na ng trabaho yung ICI
1 to 2
2
months.
At magko-concentrate na lang sa ombudsman yung mga yung mga lahat ng corruption cases.
Nag-react si Congressman Laila de Lima ron. Sabi niya, imbis na i-strengthen, ay isasara na. No?
Hindi, kaya yun ang tinatanong ko, di ba? Kaya sabi ko parang naging lukewarm yung Malacanang dyan sa ICI. Simula nung pumasok si Boying as ombudsman. Parang ang tingin nila bahala na yung ombudsman na lang. Di ba? Parang gano'n na nangyari. Kaya inabot ng 1 buwan bago nilabas yung 41 million. Dinownload na daw ngayon, today.
So, kasi Ami, tanong ka na
daw
tanong
finally.
Ami.
41 million budget.
Ami, I think that's you. Hinahanap mo kasi kay Commissioner Singson.
Biro mo naman, 3 linggo na lang. 3 linggo na lang natitira wala pang budget. Kawawa naman,
Ayan,
nilabas na daw finally, 41
So,
million.
dinownload na as of today. No?
Ako may mga utang-utang sila. Ako may mga utang-utang for the past 3 months. Pwede na nilang bayaran.
Tsaka kinakabahan sila doon sa kanilang security precautions. Dahil siyempre, yung kalaban nila ay mga sindikato, malalaking mga tao.
Oo.
So kailangan nilang
Yan na
protektahan yung kanilang, hindi lang yung kanilang sarili, yung kanilang pamilya.
Immunity. Ito yung hinihingi ni,
Isa yun sa isang reklamo
Babe
nila.
Singson.
No, yung proteksyon
Kaya
sa
nga.
kanilang mga pamilya, mga anak, asawa.
Oo.
Dahil nga, yung
Yung
kalaban nila
ombudsman
ay
covered
mabibigat.
dyan nung I think yung ombudsman covered ng judiciary marshals. Meron silang sariling security. I think kasama sila doon. I'm not sure kasi yung mga justices yun
Oo.
So hindi ko alam kung ano. Pero may sariling security ang ombudsman.
It looks like, mahati yung trabaho between the ombudsman and the DOJ because the ombudsman is only covering government officials with salary grade 27 up. So that's congressmen upwards, right? Yung the rest of the officials, DPWH, DOJ na yon. Hindi naman pwedeng lahat mapunta sa ombudsman.
Yes.
But mukhang yung sinasabi ni President Marcos that will be jailed before Christmas, mukhang, I guess he's referring to the contractors, no? Kasi,
Yeah, sa Discayas.
Pero mukhang
Disguise.
target din nila mga politicians.
Oh.
at
Ngayon,
this late, it's already
May
December
kasama
5. Everybody adjourns for Christmas in less than 2 weeks, I guess. Aabot pa ba? I mean, will
Kaya
they
pa
be
yun.
able to...
Mukhang si Boy
Kaya pa
hindi
yun, 1 week.
mag-adjourn.
By next week, kailangan may ma-arresto.
Oo nga, or at least may strong cases na, di ba, in order to arrest the
Yeah.
the
Kasi pangako nila
personalities.
before Christmas, merong behind bars.
So,
Ginagamit
by
na nila,
next week
Ami,
dapat.
yung kwan. Malversation with falsification na non-bailable.
ano yun eh?
Which is
non-bailable.
lower
easier to prove.
than the plunder.
Non-bailable. Saka ang baba ng threshold niya, 8.8 million lang.
Yes.
And kahit yung kaso in Davao Occidental, for instance, which is what the disguise
Yes.
will be pinned on, 96.5
Malversation.
million, di ba? Pasok na pasok sa malversation. The question though is,
Yes.
okay, he promised people will be jailed before Christmas, will be behind bars before Christmas. Will the disguise be enough, right, to convince the people, okay, this is a truly transparent, independent investigation? Because he promised big fishes, right?
Yes. yes.
He
Well,
keeps
the
saying
Discayas
that
are
the
not
evidence.
small, no? Pero
They're not.
kailangan may kasamang mga politiko yan. Baka yun yung
Oo,
ibig sabihin
kailangan may
ni
politiko.
Boying Remulla nung nag-request siya kay Senate President Tito Soto na wag palabasin, payagan lumabas ng bansa si Jinggoy. Pero ang tanong, meron bang kaso na nakasampa?
Wala
Diba?
pa. Referral
Oo.
pa lang at
Ano yung
this point.
request? Ano yung request na yon? May legal basis ba yung request na yon?
Yeah. The problem is wala pa. It's just a referral at this point,
Oh.
right?
Halimbawa, si Secretary Bonoan nakakasuhan din, nasa US na. Oh.
Akala ko ba
Di ba
babalik?
uuwi? Di ba
Oo.
dapat uuwi na siya? Hindi, December 15 pa yata.
15 ba? Ang galing mo, Ami, you
Or
remembered.
December... Hindi. I'm not sure kung hanggang December 15 yung leave niya. Official leave yun eh.
Oo, I remember.
Not official leave dahil wala na siya sa pwesto. Pero yung schedule niya ng balik, yan.
Oo.
He's supposed to return this month.
Yes. Oo, they told us.
Alam ko, may mga congressmen din na nasa US eh.
Abangan yata ni Ami si, si
Alam ko, may
former
congressmen din
secretary.
na nasa US eh. Kaya,
Meron.
pero mahirap kasi magtago sa US dahil may extradition treaty tayo.
Like
Yes.
former, are you talking about former Congressman Don Gonzales, for instance, whom we've been hearing na matagal na rin wala
Yes.
dito.
Pero si Andy
Bautista?
nasa US
Bautista.
din eh.
Yung COMELEC, yung former
Oo.
COMELEC chair.
Di
Di ba
siya makakaalis doon, may
pinapa-extradite din
kaso
natin
siya.
yan, pero ang tagal.
May kaso din siya sa US eh. He was
Bagay.
indicted
Kaso
by
siya doon eh, hindi siya makakalis doon.
he was indicted by a Florida court,
Yeah.
remember, in relation to the Smartmatic
Pero hindi-
alleged
Kaya hindi siya
bribery.
makakaalis.
Pero parang malaya pa siya eh.
Or in hiding. Baka hindi nila mahanap, potentially. I don't know. We also don't have any word on whether they found him. Pero yun nga.
Ngayon, ang hinahanap nila, si Yuse Cadiz hindi umuwi. Dapat daw bumalik noong December 2. Although nag-resign na nga paano yan? Siya yung tinuturo na, di ba, one of the bagmen. Ewan ko, tingnan natin kung makita nila. Mukhang hindi alam ngayon kung nakaalis ng Pilipinas. Paano yun? Nililink.
Mahalaga din tong kay Cadiz. Dahil
Yes.
very close yan
Kay
sa
Sandro
presidente.
Marcos yan eh.
For a long
Siya
while.
yung lawyer ni President Marcos back when he was still a senator.
Senator, yeah.
Correct? I think we found this
Yes.
out a few weeks ago. Siya yung lawyer niya at that time. So he's been with
Tapos may
President
link siya
Marcos for a while.
to Ilocos Norte Project. Siya nang importante dyan.
At siya yung binabalatan
Ilocos
ni
Norte
Saldico
Project siya.
na alleged bagman daw ng Malacanang.
Kay Sandro, yung binanggit na specifically. Kaya hindi ngayon alam kung nandito siya. Di ba?
So,
Dapat siya yung
Oo. So we also don't know where he is.
nag-resign eh.
Oo nga eh. But,
Oh.
but as,
Paano?
at-
Paano pag pinatawag?
but at this
Nag-leave muna tapos ngayon resigned na raw.
at this point, we don't know where he is. Si
No.
Press Officer Yusek Claire Castro was asked whether Cadiz still enjoyed the president's trust. Castro said, Well, he had already tendered his resignation as
Yeah.
far as she knew. Pero hindi niya
Yes.
sinagot yung question about Ko claiming that Cadiz had once served as an aide to President Marcos. But we can trace that anyways. That's public information. The fact that he lawyered for Marcos back when he was still a senator.
Yes.
Castro also said the
Daming
resignations should reassure the public, noting that those who may be implicated are voluntarily stepping aside.
Yes.
Does do resignations reassure the public?
I doubt it. There has to be much more.
Parang isn't it the way it's perceived is parang they're evading accountability kasi
Yes.
nag-resign
Hindi ka
ka.
na government official.
Parang
Pero hindi ka makakatakas sa kaso eh. No?
kung makasuhan if they're able to file charges.
Yes. A resignation is not sa hindi pagtakas siya. May hirapan ka.
But except
Pero pwede siyang gamiting excuse. Remember yung sa Central Bank, yung ghost employee sa Central Bank. Dinidribble yan hanggang ngayon eh. Sinabi ng Central Bank, wala na kaming sa kanila dahil nag-resign. You ask Malacanang. Sinabi ng Malacanang, wala na sila sa pwesto eh. You ask the ombudsman. Nakakalimutan ko laging tanungin si ombudsman eh. Kung hahabulin niya eh. Nakalaka na sweldo niya, biro mo, ghost employees. Yung ibang mga tao, mga 10,000 lang eh. Nakukulong ng pagkatagal-tagal eh. Bakit yan?
yeah.
Over ghost projects.
We know that central bank officers are amongst the highest paid in government.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes, they are the highest.
They are the highest
Hindi.
paid.
Maharlika na yata ngayon ang highest.
Hindi.
Pero before that-
BSP pa rin. It's, we're talking
PSP
millions.
and the monetary board.
Oh, the monetary board especially. Pero yung,
Kaya nga.
you reminded me of that ghost employees
Yeah.
case. Ano na nangyari doon?
Nag-resign yung dalawa,
Yeah.
di ba?
Hindi dalawang
Nag-resign
officers,
yung
so-
dalawa. Bakit hindi hinabol?
I think
Oh.
the cases are still
Tinanong
moving.
na namin yan eh. Hinabol namin yan eh. Tinanong namin sa Malacanang.
Hmm.
Tinanong namin BSP. We've been naging BSP. Sabi nila, tanungin nyo na Malacanang kasi wala na sila rito. Ang sabi ng Malacanang, wala na sila sa gobyerno. You ask the ombudsman. Sino nga tatanungin natin?
You're right. Parang it becomes an excuse. Kasi
Oh.
they're no longer in public service.
Kaya nga, paano nag-resign ka lang, hindi ka na mahabol? Kaya yan ang problema dyan. Sa mga nagre-resign ngayon. Kung yan ang magiging basihan mo, dahil you're home free if you resign. In fact, yun ang yung isa sa mga yun ni Saldico eh. Hindi na ako congressman eh. Sige nga, habulin niyo ako.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yung,
Kaya ba yun?
oo.
Ang alam ko, hahabulin nila halimbawa si Secretary Bonoan. No? May inahandang kaso laban sa kanya. Kahit resigned na rin siya.
Kaya nga, bakit ganon? Merong hinahabol, merong hindi.
The other good news today is
Meron?
meron. It's not always bad news. The Supreme Court has made a decision on the
Yes.
PhilHealth case
Yes.
and it unanimously ordered the return of 60 billion pesos. The total amount is 89.9 billion pesos that they took from PhilHealth. So yung 29.9 kasi na-remit na. But in any case, Supreme Court said you have to return the full amount back to PhilHealth because it's unconstitutional what you did.
Pero halimbawa yan, wala bang makakasuhan dyan?
Good question. Tawagan natin sino yung who's the lead proponent
Justice
here?
Tony Carpio. No?
Hindi. Yung lead proponent. This was back then Finance Secretary Ralph Recto who was defending
Yes,
this. Remember?
circular.
Yeah.
Circular yan.
It was a circular, pero tama din siya that it was approved by Congress. Right? So
Hindi, yung circular daw niya was based on, ang tawag doon ni Cielo Magno is a rider.
it's
Na
a
siningit at the last minute sa BICAM na pwede mong i-impound lahat actually, not just PhilHealth, lahat ng GOCC quote-unquote savings or unused funds.
correct.
Kaya it's actually bigger than the PhilHealth.
So
Ang
they
sabi
just-
ni Tony Carpio, yung perang yan, yung in-impound nyo, yan ang ginamit para magkaroon ng pondo yung unprogram, magkaroon ng dahilan para mag-release for all these flood control projects na nakikita ngayon natin na puro anomaly, puro pala kickback.
Kaya directly,
dyan.
sinasabi nila directly link yan sa mga flood control.
Flood control.
Yang tinanggal
Grabe,
sa.
no?
Kaya nga sinasabi ko, meron bang makakasuhan dyan? No?
Yan na nga.
I mean,
Magtuturo-turuan na naman yan.
yes, because it was the law allowing that was ratified by
GAA.
Congress, was approved by Congress.
Yeah, signed by the President.
Oo, correct. And then the Finance Secretary Recto then issued a circular on it. At that time, sabi niya, it's because the General Appropriations, the GAA of 2024, introduced a special provision that allows the
Yun
government to collect the excess funds, right, from
To finance the
GOCCs.
unprogrammed
Oo.
appropriation.
So yung argument ng petitioners this time, which includes si former Finance Undersecretary Shelo Magno, their argument said it violated Section 11 of Republic Act 11223 or the Universal Healthcare Act, which says
daming binayolate actually.
exactly, but yun yung core argument, which is that PhilHealth funds are for PhilHealth or
You
for
cannot
health
choose it,
care.
yeah.
How could you
Kaya nga nakita
remit
mo
it
yung
back?
botohan, 15-0 eh.
Unanimous
Unanimous sila dyan eh.
15 ba? Walang nag-abstain? Walang absent?
Wala, 15-0 yan.
Oo.
Oh, ibig sabihin
Saka
talagang
it
sampal sa mukha ng
effectively
gobyerno yan.
amended. Kasi covered nga nung circular lahat ng GOCC, it effectively amended every charter, every law that created
Correct.
every GOCC. Hindi pwedeng gawin yun ng isang batas lang.
Do you remember, Amy, at that time, they were staunchly defending it too?
Yeah.
All the government officials we spoke to
Yeah,
were
it's
vehemently-
led by, of course, Finance Secretary Recto dahil pangalan niya yun nandun eh. Siya yung nakapirma. They were defending it.
Saka in relation din dyan, ay siniro nila yung budget ng KWAN, di ba?
Sa
Ng
PhilHealth.
Hindi,
PhilHealth
yung
doon sa
subsidy lang.
BICAM.
Yung subsidy.
Oh, yung
Sa PhilHealth,
subsidy,
oo.
no? At doon nagreklamo naman, nabalitaan ko noon, yung Congress, ba't kami sinisisi? Senate ang nag-zero noon. No? Paano, nung kasi
Turuan
hindi
nga eh.
alam eh kung sino gumawa eh. Eventually nalaman, Senate daw ang nagkuhan sa BICAM.
Oo. Sa Senate pala galing. So,
Hindi naman, it's a BICAM, so it's a Senate and the House.
Oo. Ang yung
pwede
Senate
yan,
panel daw ang nag-suggest na i-zero.
at that
Tatanungin natin si Grace po din.
Oo. At that time, I remember getting a lot of press releases from the DOF on this, where they were defending their position. And at that time,
Yes.
during the oral arguments as well for this case, they were trying to say na PhilHealth is sitting on hundreds of billions of
Yes.
pesos in reserves. So,
Hindi daw yun i-utilize.
exactly. It was not being utilized effectively. We need to use that money for nation building and so on and so forth.
Pero sabi
then-
kasi nila, yung mga nagsampa ng kaso, talaga namang meron dapat savings na nakaalat.
Laging may savings.
Oo, dahil kung magkaroon ng emergency,
Yes.
kailangan meron kang buffer. Diba? Hindi talaga yung tawag nila ron, hindi savings. Hindi siya unused fund. Buffer talaga siya.
That's it. Yun yung word that was being used a lot that time. Unused, unutilized, inefficient daw yung money na yun for letting it sit there. We might as well use it. Naalala ko na, the other Secretary Recto at that time was also saying, well, kesa naman we'd raise taxes. Diba? Instead of raising taxes, we just use the unused
Binulsa na lang.
funds.
So now,
Yun na.
Binulsa na lang yung
they will
taxes.
raise taxes.
No,
Hindi ginamit, binulsa na lang.
But
Ay, ang laki-laki ng program funds, paano nilang popondohan? Kaya kinuha dyan sa mga GOCC. Biglang nagkaroon ng pera, pwede nang i-release.
oo.
What
What I want to know now is saan nila kukunin yung 60 billion pesos na yon?
From the 2026 budget, isa pa yung
Exactly.
Isa
So
pa yung,
how?
Isa pa yung controversy ngayon. Bakit yung kukunin sa 2026 budget? Oh.
But kaya nga it's 'di ba yung 2026 they said they trimmed the fat na nga tapos they tried to take out all the excesses.
Yung
So
pala,
it's very
marami pa rin
tight.
allocables.
Meron pa rin allocables, correct. But how do you carve out 60 billion from that? Sige nga.
Well, ang gusto ni
Yan naman.
mamaya, pwede natin itanong kay Senator Ping Lacson tsaka kay Win Gatchalian. Sabi kasi nila, tatanggalin nila lahat yan. Yung 270B.
No, unprogrammed.
Yung unprogrammed.
Saka
Yung unprogrammed.
Unprogrammed.
So, malaki yun kung tatanggalin nila. So, meron ka pwedeng pagkuhanan kung tatanggalin mo sa iba. Halimbawa, tatanggalin mo sa unprogrammed.
The problem is yung ibang unprogrammed, 'di ba, they're legitimate important projects for example,
Yung
yung mga
pang-emergency yun.
foreign funded
Contingency.
projects, for example, di ba? A few of the foreign assisted, what do they call it? FAPs, foreign assisted projects, were sitting in unprogrammed.
Then, dapat may breakdown. Ano yung talagang kailangan gamitin para dyan? Ano yung talagang insertions, no? Ano ba talaga yung mga allocables,
Nako.
no? Paano yung, at least yung lumabas na allocables, medyo, kanyon, malalaki yun.
Malaki
for small districts, ha?
Malaki nga. I don't know how
May
they're
mga
gonna...
nagtatanong din kung bakit yung unprogrammed is for the yung foreign assisted. Kasi yung foreign assisted, regular ang kanilang funding dyan eh. ODA nila yan eh. Nagtatanong yung ibang mga actually yung ibang embassy, bakit kami regular yung funding namin, kayo unprogrammed kung meron lang pondo? Tinatanong din nila yan.
I remember having this conversation. ODA, yes, yung iba, but yung iba nga nakapark sa unprogrammed, which is
kaya nga. Bakit daw
problematic.
ganun?
Oo, dapat nasa program na siya eh, di ba?
Oo.
So,
Kasi yung counterparts mo na foreign sila, nakaano yan sa budget nila eh.
yes, naka-ready na eh.
Contribution yan ng mga
Yeah.
taxpayer nila eh.
Correct. Correct.
Oh.
So,
Bakit daw tayo kung meron lang pondo? Oh.
Nasa Pilipinas tayo eh. Di ba nila alam yon?
which means, uy, nauna pa yung sagot ng SC sa impeachment decision, no? I'm still waiting on that.
Oo.
Huh? Whatever happened to that?
Minamasahe pa yung impeachment, minamasahe pa eh.
Doon sa impeachment
Mukhang
kasi,
binabago eh.
sa impeachment kasi may babanat sa kanila ron.
Wala ka bang balita?
Dito walang babanat sa kanila. Mabango sila rito, di ba?
Oh, sabagay, everybody's happy na. Okay, great. We get 60 billion pesos back.
Oo. Magandang kwan yun, PR.
Saka ang ruling dyan sa 60 billion, unconstitutional. Ha? Yung ruling dyan, it's unconstitutional.
It's a huge slap in the face of the government,
Yeah.
right? To say now, you did something illegal. That was unconstitutional that you transferred that money.
Actually, several months ago, medyo may ganun ng balita eh. Dahil yung hearing sa kaso na yan, malinaw na yung leanings ng ng Supreme Court. Yung mga tanong nila, line of questioning.
Oo nga. Remember that justice na pinagalitan yung defendants because he himself got
Yeah.
hospitalized. Tapos yung nakuha lang niya sa PhilHealth was very small fraction of the total hospital bill.
Correct.
Yes.
Nakalimutan ko sinong justice yun, but yeah, na-experience din nila. So what everybody experiences, right? You go to get hospitalized, siguro 5% lang ng bill mo yung kino-cover ng PhilHealth.
Kaya even before lumabas itong decision na ito, very optimistic yung mga nag-file ng kaso sa Supreme Court. Dahil nga dun sa nangyari mga hearings.
So,
Ang impeachment case, on the other hand, self-serving yan sa Supreme Court eh. It makes it nearly impossible to impeach them. Kaya nagdurusa sila ngayon kung paano mamasahihin.
Lalo na,
Yung
Ami,
desisyon.
kung
It's
nabasa
not
natin yung
actually
pan.
for the VP It's for themselves.
Oo. Diba, halimbawa, nabasa natin yung motion for reconsideration na ginawa ni Solicitor General. Very surgical siya. Halimbawa, yung isang basihan ni Marvick Leonen. Di ba? Yung
napalpak.
ABS-CBN
Fake news.
report na mismo
Yan,
ABS-CBN sinabi,
ghost
mali yun. So, yung mga ganun ba?
okay, but do you think they would go so far as to admit that? Na, okay, sorry, we got the facts wrong.
If I were them,
change our
if I were them,
decision.
na hindi ako
Mas
sila.
nakakahiya naman kung hindi sila umamin.
Oh, if I were them, meron akong ibibigay, meron akong pangangatawanan.
Okay.
Para half-half, no? Ganun ang gagawin nila. Hindi nila totally kinukuan, ina-admit yung kanilang error,
Ay,
pero
hindi ko ma-imagine. Anong sweet spot to? How do you balance that?
hindi, halimbawa, yung mga ginawa nila na baguhin yung Article 11 ng Constitution sa impeachment.
Make it harder for
Oo,
impeachment.
amending
make it
it.
harder, no? Pwedeng may mga imamasahe ka, kaya nga meron ka ibibigay, meron kang pangangatawanan.
Pero in the end, the ruling stays the same, ganon?
Basically.
But, okay. But if you get the facts
Okay,
wrong,
that will be in the case of the VP.
oo.
Pero yung sa proseso ng impeachment, kailangan baguhin nila yon. Siguro
Because,
i-uphold nila na yung kay VP, hindi pwede.
oo. In any case, December na din, diba, they can file again in February if they want. So if they issue it, I guess, this month or January, they, just in time. Oh nga, no, that's a good point. Pwede rin you change the ruling, the provisions on the impeachment, pero keep the ruling the same.
yung mga steps, yung process of impeachment. Hindi mo
Nag-
pwedeng baguhin yun. Nandun yun sa Constitution.
Nag-judicial legislation kasi sila eh.
Oh.
Diba?
Oh.
Binago nila yung
Na
Constitution.
self-serving.
Oo.
Self-serving eh.
It was a very
Dapat
strong.
hindi sila.
It was a very strongly worded decision.
Yes.
Basically hitting
Siyempre,
the house.
they were defending themselves. So, yan ang problema. I'm just expressing what other people are saying. Ha? They were protecting themselves from impeachment.
Yes.
It's not really about Sara Duterte. So, swinerte lang si BP. Na isabay sa kanya yung ano.
so that it doesn't protecting themselves, meaning so that hindi rin sila ma-impeach under the similar
Sila ma-impeach, ang
circumstances.
hirap-hirap.
Oo.
Kasi pwede mo silang impeach for that unconstitutional ruling eh.
That's
Eh,
true.
kaya lang, they
Oo.
made it impossible already. They
That's
made it impossible to impeach them over that ruling.
Oo nga, no, that's true. If people could file a petition to impeach.
Unconstitutional. You're
Unconstitutional
changing the
ruling.
constitution eh.
Oo.
Kaya nga hindi lang siya conflict of interest eh. No, yung sinasabi nun.
Unfortunately, wala
Kaya
nang higher
gulo eh.
court than the Supreme Court. Yun na yun.
Oo.
They are the gods of Padre Faura. So,
Oo. Sabi
Kaya
nga
nga,
nila,
they just amended the
if the
Constitution.
Supreme
Pwede ba
Court
yun?
makes an error, the error becomes law.
I remember this. Oo nga.
Pero pwede namang nagpapalit din sila ng ruling.
If
Meron ng mga cases na ganon.
they changed.
Pero very rare yun
Nagpapalit
yung
din sila.
unanimous, babaguhin nila.
Yun na nga eh. That's why, parang it's almost unprecedented.
Nangyari lang yata yun once
Oh. Kailan?
sa isang environmental
When everybody flipped
Yeah.
the votes. That's why. And that in itself will become jurisprudence.
but
The
this
fact that
decision
they-
is very political.
Oo.
Ito yung kaibahan nito.
Kaya nga, ang tagal. kasi yung petition for the PhilHealth, I remember it was filed, was it March, April, early this year, di ba? Tapos may decision na. And yung sa MR was filed just in,
Hindi, sa PhilHealth last year pa yata yun.
was it last year?
Last year,
Kasi 2024 pa yung anong yan eh, yung
Oo,
budget
yung
na yan.
2024 budget.
Tinanggal siya sa 2025 dahil nga sa gulo.
Oh yeah. But in any case,
2024 budget yan, GAA.
yung sa House, the MR of the House was filed when? I don't remember anymore.
MR of the House.
Yung motion for reconsideration ng House.
Yeah.
In any case,
Hindi, wala pa nga na yan.
it's been several months. So we're still waiting on that, to close the books on that.
Yes.
And then yung the other development is, of course, si Soljen Berberabe has been allowed to enter her manifestation for the case of Duterte at the ICC. Okay.
Pwede naman talaga yun. OSG yan eh.
Oo. Parang, although klinaro niya, it doesn't mean the Philippines has changed its stance on ICC. It just means she's being allowed to. It's a procedural thing. Okay, at this point, let me bring in our guest for the day. I think he's ready. We're talking to, once again, Senate President Pro Tempore and Blue Ribbon Committee Chair, Senator Ping Lacson. Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for joining us again.
Good afternoon, Senator.
Yeah. Good
Hi,
afternoon, Regina.
Senator.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Hi,
sir.
Ami. Good afternoon.
Nandito rin
Hi.
si Senator Edu. Si
Hi,
Secretary
Senator
Llamas.
Edu. Yeah, Senator Edu. The famous Senator Edu.
Oo.
Ano ba?
Okay, Senator, let me start. First off, I guess I just wanted your reaction to former Secretary Babe Singson resigning from the ICI, and also yung bill that's pending in both Senate and the lower chamber to give the ICI more powers. It has stalled, no?
Yeah. Hopefully next week we'll be able to pass the Senate version, and I just hope the House will follow suit or even get ahead of the Senate in passing the bill, the counterpart measure.
Wala naman opposition sa House, sa Senate, sir. Wala naman
Wala, lahat kami fully supportive ng pagtayo ng Independent People's Commission. Kasi kailangan talaga wala silang poder. Tapos yun nga, wala masyadong personality, ika nga. So it's about time na ma-institutionalize natin at least for a certain period of time na meron silang immunity. I don't know how we will go about giving them the contempt powers kasi baka sa court lang po pwede yan. Although yung Senate as a or Congress as a legislative body, meron naman din kaming contempt powers. Kasi what good is a subpoena power kung wala ka namang contempt powers? Although, just like the CIDG and the NBI, pag may subpoena powers, pwede naman silang pumunta sa court para humingi ng indirect contempt against those persons who will ignore the subpoena.
Senator, ano yung statement ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla na in 1 to 2 months daw ay pwede nang sarhan yung ICI, no? Parang medyo confusing dahil merong mga bills na nakasampa to strengthen the ICI, may mga nag-resign sa ICI, tapos parang hindi pa kalalabas pa lang ng budget at may nakasalang na mga bills tapos ikuha na siya, isasara na? What was that about?
Maybe he was referring dun sa ICI as an ad interim or ad hoc. Kasi pagka na-enact na into law at na-form na yung Independent People's Commission, creation na ng batasyon, hindi naman pwedeng basta-basta isara yun. So baka ang nire-refer niya, baka ang context, yung pinanggagalingan niya, kung may pasa yung batas, wala na yung ICI. Naging IPC na.
Pero parang ang context ng pagkakasabi niya, parang yung ombudsman na kasi ang gagawa nito eh. Parang ombudsman na yung bahala. Parang ganun yung context ng kanyang pagkakasabi na magsasara na.
Kasi inaapura sa both houses yung pagpasa ng law eh.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how to reconcile yung kanyang statement doon sa inaapura ng dalawang houses.
Yes.
And hopefully ma-certify as urgent ni President Marcos para wala na yung 3-day rule. Kasi kami, we're expecting na maipasa namin yung on third reading yung budget on Tuesday kasi holiday sa Monday. So simultaneously, pwede na namin isaran din o mag-amendments, period of amendments na kami sa IPC, do sa bill ni Senator Soto. At by Friday, kung merong certification from the President na urgent measure, baka pwede namin maipasa within the next week.
Yes. In relation dyan...
Senator, kasi...
In relation
Kasi
dyan,
parang,
Senator. Yeah.
parang lukewarm, Senator, ang Malacanang dyan sa ICI ngayon eh. Unang-una, inabot ng 1 buwan bago lumabas yung 41 million. Pangalawa, nag-resign 2 weeks ago pa pala si
Babe Singson.
Babe Singson. Eh, hindi natin alam. Nalaman lang natin nung nag-leak yung story at sinabi na ni Andres Reyes, kinonfirm. At wala namang pinapalit nyo yun. Mukhang parang lukewarm na yung Malacanang. Simula nung na-appoint na si Boying Remulla na ombudsman, mukhang pababayaan na lang ombudsman na lang, palakasin na lang yung ombudsman.
Well, ICI
Anong
just
tingin
like
po niyo?
the Senate Blue Ribbon, yung ICI just like the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee or any investigating body, na once mag-file ng information ng ombudsman or the DOJ at nasa court, pababaw na ng sub-judice rule. Hindi na rin masyado makakagalaw yung mga nag-iimbestiga. So, probably, dahil mukhang pinapast track naman ng DOJ at saka ng ombudsman yung pagpapile ng mga kaso, baka kaya siguro nagkaroon na ng konting siguro, parang iniisip nila, baka duplication. But I hope it's not that, I hope it's not, I hope they're not really, they have become lukewarm. I hope not.
In relation
Kasi
dyan,
pati nga yung ICI, di ba? Parang medyo disappointed din yung mga tao, kapareho yung live stream. Lahat ng big fish na humarap sa ICI, nagpa-executive session.
executive session.
Kaya paraki pa. Hindi ba?
Yeah.
It was supposed to take over your job sa Blue Ribbon. Yun ang inaasahan ng mga tao na ganong klaseng investigasyon. Ngayon, sunod-sunod na. I think magiging yun na yung maging president Lahat ng dyan gusto, executive session, para kay pa yan.
Yeah.
In relation dyan, Senator, ay very explosive yung naging last hearing nyo sa Blue Ribbon, no? 2 weeks ago. Lalo na yung mga testimonies ni Yusek Bernardo. Ano lang status ngayon ng Blue Ribbon in relation dyan? May mga bago pa bang susulpot na mga hearings? Or for now, wina-wind out yun na yun?
Meron actually nakipag-ugnayan. Ang mga latest development na medyo naudlot din, kasi si Diskaya, pinayagan ko last Monday, eskorta ng OSAA, para kunin pa yung additional ledgers. Remember, 6 lang yung ledgers na pinodus niya against the 17 congressmen that they named. Ano? So, ang usapan namin, dadalhin niya lahat yung kumpleto yung ledgers. Noong ineskortan siya maghapon, wala naman silang naiiwi, wala nakuha. Kasi parang na-restrain yata sila ng court na parang may closure or something, closure order. Now, another one is yung driver ni Yusek Bernardo. Ang tagal niya nang hinahanap yun, pinapahanap ko sa kanya kasi yun yung kanyang nautusan pag nagdi-deliver para mag-corroborate. Nalocate na niya. So, I was hoping, pagsasamahin ko yun, yung ledger, yung si alias Nino, yung driver niya, tapos yung si Undersecretary Cabral, nagkaroon din ng pakipag-ugnayan sa amin through the lawyer or lawyers, ano. Pero somehow hindi ko masyadong gusto yung feedback, no. Kasi hindi ganun ka all out ika nga. Just like how we started with Yusek Bernardo, the first time I met him, very elusive, at pareho rin yung kanilang opening statement. Ang unang sinabi sa amin tatandaan ko nun si Yusek Bernardo, the first time I met him with my 2 staff, kasi may nag-arrange. Ang unang sinabi niya, hindi ako nagmamalinis kasi siyempre pag birthday ko, pag Pasko, nakakatanggap ako ng gift, mga 100 million. So, medyo sinipa ko yung sa ilalim ng staff ko. Bayaan lang natin ito, huwag na natin kontrahen kasi alam mo, yung birthday gift ng 100 million, hindi birthday gift yun eh. So, parang ganun din yung opening ng through the lawyer, ni Yusek Cabral. So, sabi ko, tingnan lang muna natin kung sila yung mag-initiate sa susunod and then we proceed from there. So, eventually, yun nga, kay si Yusek Bernardo, nag-research muna kami na nag-research. So, second meeting, medyo na-corner na namin siya. Kasi binigyan ko siya ng ilang magic words na alam niya yung alam ko yung tinatanong ko, alam ko yung sagot. So yun din ang sinabi ko, alam mo Yusek, ako pag nagtanong, alam ko rin yung sagot kaya wag mo kami bubulahin. So doon siya nag-start na nagsimulang, yun nga, nagsabi na ng talagang lubos-lubusan na. So doon kami start eh.
Sen, were the ledgers valuable? Did it have is it good evidence that's going to stand up in a court of law?
Those are very valuable pieces of evidence kasi na magko-corroborate sa testimony. Remember kung mag-testify na ako nagbigay dito, nagbigay doon, tapos supported by ledgers, especially na yung ledger authentic, hindi yung bagong gawa na sumunod lang doon sa kanilang testimony. And there are ways to find out kung authentic yung ledger or ledgers. Just like yung kay Bernardo, meron siyang digital files na maski parang na-installment yung kanyang sa pamamagitan ng puro supplemental affidavits, meron pinagbabasehan. Yun ang doon.
So, ano lang yung nakalagay sa ledger, Sen? Is it just the kickbacks or...
No, may mga dates at saka may mga amounts. Saka may mga location, gano'n.
Kung saan
tapos
dineliver.
Tapos yung tumanggap, gano'n.
So parang na Paul's ledger, Senator, no? Nung kay Louie.
Very vital na evidence yun eh.
Yes.
Kasi yung items, alam si Bernardo, di ba, nung nag-testify siya, meron siya sabi laging Annex A, Annex E, Annex B, na kung saan, nandun talagang items. Kasi kung basta salita mo lang, na wala naman yung listahan, yung items doon sa GAA, medyo hilaw yun, di ba?
How about the Gutesa issue, Senator? Dahil sinasabi ni Saldico, i-corroborate ni Gutesa yung kanyang testimony, yung mga sinasabi niya. Nasaan na ba? Ano bang status ngayon ni Gutesa?
Wala nakakaalam eh. As a matter of fact, hindi lang i-corroborate. Sinabi niya, kinorroborate daw. Pati yung pagdadala ng mga deliveries. Pero as far as Gutesa is concerned, yung testimony niya sa Blue Ribbon, binding yun kasi sinumpaan niya sa Blue Ribbon. Pero for purposes of prosecution, baka hindi admissible sa korte yun dahil lumabas pa nga yung notaryo niya na peke. So walang pinagbabasihan ngayon yung kanya affidavit. Ang pwede lang gamitin yung testimony niya sa Blue Ribbon, pero hindi naman ganun kasimple yun because pag nag-preliminary investigation, he has to appear physically sa DOJ o sa Ombudsman para i-affirm niya yung kanyang affidavit personally sa harap ng prosecutor. Susumpahan niya ulit yun eh. Kasi ganyan ang procedure eh. Pagka testigo ka, lalo kung halimbawa respondent ka, pag sinumpina ka, sinumon ka, pupunta ka doon para i-affirm mo yung maski nakanotaryo ka na o maski sworn and subscribed na yung statement ko, susumpahan mo pa rin yon para ma-affirm mo sa harap ng prosecutor. Ang problema, nasaan si Gutesa?
Senator, may isa pa tayong ngayon, yung issue ng budget. Bago na naman kami natutuhan yung allocable. The allocables.
Oo, ako rin.
Nilagay yun nung Pero nilagay yun, di ba, nung NEP pa nung paggawa pa ng National Expenditure Program. Anong gagawin yung paglilinis siya? Malapit na matapos yung budget. Malilinis ba siya?
Wala na. Erase na lahat yun. Inerase na namin. Wala na yung
Ah,
allocable.
okay.
Ano na yun? Wala na sa isa yun. Napura na lahat yun sa Senate version.
How much did you erase?
Yung unprogrammed appropriations, may matitira pa ba? Unprogrammed.
Ang naiwan lang sa program, 3 items lang. Yung foreign assisted, talaga naman nasa program yun. Ano? Tapos yung AFP modernization, tapos yung GOP do sa foreign assisted, yung sa government.
Gano'n
Wait, how
karami?
3 lang. Inalis namin lahat yun ng program na may mga sagip, may mga VIP. Inalis namin lahat yun.
Yung natanggal sa allocable, Senator, how much was that in total?
Malaki-laki yun kasi mahaba yung roll call eh. Mahaba listahan. Pero wala na yung burado na lahat yun. Kasi ang allocable, ito yung baliktad eh. Nauna yung amount
Yes.
na allocable binibigay sa mga legislators. Saka palang hahanapan ng items. Hindi ba pagka maggagawa ka ng project, yung item muna, magpe-prepare ka ng program of work, lahat. Saka mo popondohan kasi ibebase mo yung funding doon sa item. Ito baliktad. Meron ng pondo. Saka palang hindi pa yon ang pinakamasama. Sa NEP pa lang, nakapagpasok siya ng halimbawa, nag-allocable, nahanapan ng items, nasama sa listahan ng DPWH, 10% agad na binibigay ng kontraktor. So, saka naman nakakita ng nasa National Expenditure Program, wala pang katiyakan na masasama sa GAA.
May advance na.
Yung kontraktor. Ibig sabihin, pati yung bidding, at sa airless NEP, rigged na. Alam na kung sino man nanalo.
Magbabaycam kayo, papayag kaya yung House? Tinanggal yung mga allocables. Siyempre, karamihan sa kanila may ganyan, I'm sure.
Yeah, may mga konting usapin. Actually, nung nag-focus kami, alam mo, nagkaroon kami ng problema eh. Merong snag nung bago kami magpasa on third reading. Kasi meron kami mga naririnig na, not necessarily from the House, pero meron ding mga demand from the counterpart sa lower house. Merong sa grupo namin, merong may ng napakalaki sa kanilang mga individual amendments. May usapan na nga kami na, teka muna, hinahinan na tayo. Reset nga usapan natin dito eh.
Sino yun?
Papasok na naman tayong pagkalalaki. I won't mention
Sino
names.
daw sila?
Initials daw, Sen, initials.
Joke lang.
Pero
Sen.
alam mo, pag nagbubulungan nga kami ni na Tito Sen, kami ni na Senator Mix, pag kami lang yung sa leadership, ano ba naman ito? Nasa reform mode na nga tayo. Tapos meron pa rin ganyan. Parang parinig na kung ano meron sa House, dapat meron din tayo. Hindi naman magandang pakinggan yun. Kasi pagka pinayagan naman yun, nasayang naman lang yun lahat yung effort ni Senator Gatchalian kasi nakita naman yung effort niya. Napakatsaga niya, very patient. Wala na ako nakita ang pinakamatsaga na in-interpellate kundi siya. Na alam niya na irrelevant yung mga tanong pero sagot pa rin siya ng sagot. Napakatsaga. So ang naging usapan namin, ang sinuggest ko noon sa aming chat group, at least sa majority, ipaubayan na natin kay Senator Win kung i-accept niya, i-reject niya, let's support him by way of voting if it comes to that. Kasi halimbawa, inobjectan mo yung isang proposed amendment, siyempre, kung halimbawang ilalagay sa boto, kaya nangailangan kami ng quorum noong pagpasa ng second reading. Yun sana. Pero mabuti na rin, hindi na kami umabot sa ganun.
Sen, speaking of reforms, this is gonna be the first live stream by cam. Tuloy na yun?
Yes, tuloy yon, tuloy.
Okay.
Talagang we'll see to it na hanggang kahuli-huli ang patak ng dugo ng budget. Talagang transparent. Ginawa na namin eh. Ngayon lang nangyari yung sa floor namin, yung mga hindi nag-introduce ng kanilang amendments at nag-submit lang in writing. Binasa lahat ni Senator Gatchalian eh. Siya na yung nagbasa bilang sponsor. Ito yung mga amendments ng mga individual amendments. 11 yung senador na binasa niya yung amendments eh. So nandun naka-record lahat yun. Hindi pwedeng ilihim na hindi akin yan. Wala na yung turo-turo na kung sino nag-amend, kung sino nag-insert.
So may
ito
mga
talaga yung pinaka-transparent. Sa tagal ko sa Senado, nakakatuwa, talaga nakakatuwa. Ito yung matagal ko nang hinahangad noon pa. Kasi ako, maski noong hindi pa ganyan, pinopost ko sa website ko lahat yung amendments ko eh.
Congratulations, Sen.
pero Sen, kayo natutuwa. Sino yung mga hindi natutuwa? Medyo marami rin
Oo
rin
nga,
ba?
o kaya mga ilan na lang, mga ilan. Ilan yung nag-aapila?
Kahit wag na yung pangalan, yung dami na lang.
Let's put it this way. Ang importante,
ilan
mas
yung
maraming
nag-aapila?
natutuwa. Ang importante naman sa amin, mas maraming natutuwa. Saka at least mga kababayan natin, yung media, natutuwa na alam nila kung sino nag-amend at kung ano yung in-amend. Tapos, ako nga, hindi naman sa pag-ano, no? Ako yung naghanap po na ako kung saan ako kukuha ng pang-augment doon sa judiciary, doon sa DepEd, doon sa tertiary education, bago ako nag-amend. Kasi mahirapan talaga yung chairman. Ito yung daing kasi ni Senator Sherwin, di ba? Noong nagdidebate kami doon sa joint resolution, concurrent resolution, nagawin transparent. Sabi niya, paano naman to, Senping, yung mga kasama naman natin, amen lang na amen, augment na augment, wala naman pinanggagalingan. So ako yung maghahanap ngayon, ako yung mapapahamak sa mga agencies kasi magbabawas ako sa mga ahensya. Yun ang problema ng
eto na lang.
chairman.
Parang nakikita ko, parang sinasabi ng ibang senador, Kruger's back. May mga matatalas na pantaliri.
Siyang region na lang, yung pinakamalakas yung apila. Siyang region. Ito, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Saan yung pinakamalakas na lang yung apila?
Yung region
for
na
the
or-
amendment or for allocables.
Naku, mag-headline sa Philippine Star yan.
Hindi naman region. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao na lang. O, ayan, para hindi masyado. Saan yung pinakamalakas?
Yung nagbigay sa akin kasi ng kopya ng mga allocables ng both houses, meron siyang pakiusap kung pwedeng for my eyes only. So, sa akin na lang yun.
Ito talaga si Ami, oh.
Tayo lang na dito, sir.
Si Ami talaga, oh.
Tayo lang naman,
Kung sinabing for your eyes only, including Amis, Ronald,
Papadagdag
and
natin yun.
Regina, okay yun.
Sayang, di kami nasama. Sir, let me come back to the investigation just very quickly. We're running out of time. Pero yung, do you have any plans to call or to summon si former ES Bersamin, former Secretary Amena Pangandaman, the new names that were implicated recently, Trigiv Olivar, Adrian Bersamin.
Si Trigiv Olivar, inibita na namin siya. So ang next hearing, supina na yung matatanggap niya. Pag hindi siya sumipot, pwede namin siya i-contempt. Pero sina ES Bersamin, sina Sec Mina, wala naman direct pag-implicate sa kanila eh. Actually, di ba sabi nga ni ES Bersamin, triple hearsay. Totoo yun. Ako naman, binanggit ko lang yun kasi as narrated by Bernardo, no? At saka naka-resign na naman sila noong isinama ko sa interpellation ko yun eh. So, yun. Ang sunod namin sigurong, maski isa simultaneous namin, ang sunod namin, kasi merong resolution si Senator Erwin Tulfo tungkol sa LOA. Yan, another usapin yan.
Sa BIR.
Baka that's another flood control project in the making, yung LOA ng BIR. Ano rin yan, isang napakalaking issue rin
Explosive din yan.
Ang lakas ng clamor ng business community dyan ng business sector.
Matagal na yan problema, sir.
Natin eh.
Explosive yan.
Tentatively, nagpa-schedule ako ng Thursday but we're awaiting submission of some documents. Meron kaming hinahanap ng mga dokumento eh. Tapos yung mga possible na resource persons or even whistleblowers. Pagka nabuo yun, itutuloy ko yung Thursday na hearing.
Panghabol na lang, Senator, na may lumabas na balita na nag-send ng note si Boying Remulla, Ombudsman Remulla, kay Senate President Tito Soto na huwag bigyan ng travel authority si Jinggoy Estrada. May update ba kayo dyan?
Napag-usapan namin ni Tito Sen yan na kahit halimbawang magkaroon ng order yung court kasi meron siyang may petition siya sa korte.
Yes.
Napayagan siya mag-travel.
Oo.
Even assuming na bigyan siya ng authority ng court to travel, may problema pang isa. Kasi yung ombudsman, sinabi niya ni ombudsman na Boying, na meron sa kanilang rules, no, or sa ombudsman law, na pagka undergoing investigation, pwede lang i-restrain yung travel, yung movement ng tao. So, the Senate, through the Senate President, they have to contend with the Ombudsman,
Yes.
even with the authority granted by the Sandigan Bayan. So, that's another issue that the Senate President has to contend with.
Okay.
And then, speaking of your colleagues in the Senate, do you have any news? May balita po ba kayo kay Senator De La Rosa?
Bato. Nasaan na siya?
ang huli namin sa chat group kasi nag-ano siya, sabi niya,
Yung nag-joke siya sa inyo.
May apprehension daw siya na pa-appearin si Saldico na mag-zoom kasi raw baka mag-propaganda, hindi naman namin ma-hold accountable. Tapos on the side, sabi ko, kumusta ka na ba? Ang sagot niya lang sa akin, eto sir, basta i-break yung record mo sa pagtatago.
Oo nga eh.
Tapos meron siyang doon kami natapos. Sabi ko lang, sige, ingat ka na lang.
So you haven't heard from him since?
So may communication si Bato sa inyo sa isang Viber
Sa
group.
chat group.
Ibig
May
sabihin,
amendment kasi.
kayang i-triangulate yung kanyang location through his cellphone.
Alam ko, ginagawa na nila yan eh. Hindi naman na dapat turuan yung mga intelligence natin. Ronald,
Oo nga.
kala mo, ikaw lang magaling sa intelligence eh.
Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Senate President Pro
Salamat,
Tempore
Senator.
and Blue
Thank
Ribbon
you.
Committee
Thank you,
Chair.
Nangyari,
Senator.
lang last kwentuhan natin.
Oo nga eh. Senator Ping Lacson. Next time, in studio na lang,
Thank
sir.
you.
Si Ami,
Thank you.
si Ami talaga nanguhuli
Thank you.
pa
Thanks
nangahanap ng headline
for
Siyempre.
Thanks for joining Storycon today. Aming Pamitunan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. Join us again Monday, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay. Kapatid, we are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.